Okay, so today we're going to talk about something that feels, well, like a fundamental shift in game development. What if you could just talk to your game engine, tell it what to do, and it just does it? No more clicking, just creating. Let's dive in and see how this is even possible.
All right, if you've ever worked in Unity, you know the grind. I mean, you know it deep in your soul, right? All that endless clicking, jumping between windows, that constant context switching. It's like this friction that just wears you down and gets in the way of your big ideas.
And it's always the little things, isn't it? Placing an object here, tweaking a component there, adjusting a material. None of it is hard, but add it all up, and suddenly you're looking at this mountain of busy work. It completely shatters your flow state. That amazing burst of creativity you had, yeah, it just turned into a few hours of tedious clicking.
So, what if you could just build a bridge over that mountain of busy work? Well, that's where this really cool open source tool called unity-mcp comes in. Seriously, this thing is aiming to completely change the game for how we interact with the Unity editor.
And this is the big idea. Just imagine it. You skip all that manual stuff. You just tell Unity what you want. No more digging through menus, no more fiddling with a million things in the inspector. You just have a direct line from your brain straight into the engine.
Okay, so what is this thing really? Well, at its core, unity-mcp is a free, open-source package you drop right into your project. What it does is it runs this tiny little server inside Unity, and that server opens up a direct line of communication for an AI, like Claude Code, to send commands and, basically, drive the editor for you.
And look, this isn't just some random experiment a couple of people are playing with. We're talking over 8,500 stars on GitHub. That's a massive, active community saying, yes, we want this. It's pretty clear that developers are absolutely hungry for a new way to work.
The secret sauce making all this possible is some really clever tech called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short. Think of it like a universal language. It's an open standard that's built to let AI securely connect to and use outside tools. You know, things like a search engine or a database, or, in our case, the entire Unity editor.
Here's a great way to think about it. MCP is basically trying to be the USB-C port for AI, right? Just like USB-C finally gave us one plug for all our gadgets, MCP wants to be that one universal connector for AI. So any AI model can just plug into any tool. And Unity MCP? That's just the Unity adapter for this whole system.
Okay, tech is cool, but what can you actually do with it? This is where the magic happens. Let's check out some real examples of how you can, and I mean this literally, speak your game world into existence.
So you give it a prompt like this. Now, stop and think for a second about how many clicks this would normally take. Create a plane, create 5 cubes, loop through them to set random heights, add a light, add a camera. I mean, you're all over the place. With Unity MCP, it's just one sentence, and boom, a few moments later, the scene is just there, and you never even touched your mouse.
And it's not just for laying out objects. You can get super specific and technical. Instead of digging through post-processing profiles, trying to remember what every single slider does, you just describe the look you want. It's a massive shortcut for both artists and programmers.
So how is it doing all this? Well, under the hood, those simple prompts are triggering a whole suite of powerful tools. The AI can manage your scene, your project assets, even install Unity packages. It can tweak your graphics pipeline, and get this, it can even write and edit C# scripts for you, all from a simple chat box.
And this isn't just theoretical. People are already feeling the impact. There's a great quote from Matt Wallach, an engineer at Unity, who points out that it's all about staying focused. You're not jumping out to a browser to search for answers anymore. You stay right there, in the project, in the zone, solving the actual problem.
Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking, this sounds amazing, but it must be a nightmare to set up. And you'd be wrong. The team behind this has made getting started incredibly simple. It's basically a 3-step process to get you up and running. First things first, what do you need? It's all pretty standard stuff. A recent version of Unity, Python 3.10 or newer, and of course, an AI client that can talk the MCP talk, like Claude Code. And the setup itself? Seriously, it's this easy. Step 1, you grab the package from its Git URL in the Unity Package Manager. Step 2, you open the new window it adds and just click Start Server. Step 3, you connect it to your AI client. That is literally it. You're done. You are ready to start talking to Unity. All right, so let's pull back for a second. What does a tool like this really mean for the future of making games? It's definitely part of a bigger AI trend we're seeing, but it has this really unique open source heart to it.
Probably the best way to get a feel for where Unity-MCP fits in is to put it side by side with Unity's own AI tool, Unity-Muse. So Muse is super integrated, but it's cloud-based and it's a subscription. Unity-MCP is the total opposite. It's free, it runs right there on your own computer, it's totally open source, and you can plug in whatever AI client you want. So they're both going after similar goals, just from completely different directions.
Now, we got to be real here, this is still a new and evolving thing. There are a few things to keep in mind. For one, the server has to restart every time your scripts recompile in Unity, so that can interrupt things. Also, the power to just execute any script is, well, it's awesome, but also a little dangerous, so you need to be careful. And yeah, if you have a ridiculously huge scene, you might see some performance slowdowns. Like any tool, it's not magic, it has its trade-offs.
And that really brings us to the biggest question, doesn't it? When a tool like this comes along and just gets rid of all the tedious, boring labor, what's left? You're free to focus on what actually matters, the art, the gameplay, the story you want to tell. So when all that busy work is gone, what are you going to build?